Welcome everyone to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing fortunes. And today's story is one that will truly leave you stunned because we're talking about the 1994 1-cent coin that has been valued at a jaw-dropping $24 million due to a combination of incredible minting errors, mysterious die variations, and historical oddities that make it one of the most unique and valuable pennies ever found in the history of American coinage, a piece so rare that collectors around the world have been chasing it for years, fascinated by its peculiar design flaws and the secrets it holds about the minting process during that era. Now, to most people, a 1994 penny doesn't seem special at first glance. It's a coin we've all seen countless times, featuring the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, made primarily of copper-plated zinc after the composition change that occurred in 1982 when the US Mint transitioned away from solid copper to save production costs. But hidden among the billions of ordinary 1994 1-cent coins, there exist a few remarkable specimens that contain bizarre and striking errors, the kind that turn what should be a simple coin worth just a cent into something worth millions. The story behind this $24 million penny begins with a misalignment during the minting process, where one of the dies used to strike the coin was slightly rotated, producing what experts call a rotated die error, and in the case of this 1994 example, the rotation is so extreme that Lincoln's portrait appears slightly twisted in relation to the reverse design. An error so rare and visually stunning that it instantly caught the attention of top numismatists when first discovered. But that's not all. This particular coin also exhibits a double die obverse, meaning that the coin's design elements such as the word Liberty, the date 1994, and even parts of Lincoln's face show a doubled image, a phenomenon that occurs when the die itself receives a misaligned impression from the master hub during production, causing a faint but unmistakable duplication effect. A kind of shadow that gives the letters and numbers a doubled appearance under magnification. This doubling is sharp and distinct, not a simple machine doubling caused by vibration, and that makes all the difference, because true double die errors are extremely valuable and highly sought after. To add even more intrigue, this extraordinary penny reportedly also has an off-metal strike, which means that instead of being struck on a normal copper-plated zinc planchet, it was accidentally struck on a bronze or foreign planchet intended for another denomination or even another country's coinage, leading to a slight difference in weight, color, and metallic tone that further separates it from the billions of standard 1994 issues. Some experts suggest that the planchet used might have been a leftover from pre-1982 solid copper stock, while others believe it could have been an experimental strike or a test piece that somehow escaped the mint, making it an incredibly rare specimen. The coin also displays what's known as a broad strike error, where the collar die, which normally holds the coin in place during striking, failed to engage properly, allowing the metal to spread outward slightly, giving the coin a wider, flatter appearance with missing or distorted rim details, an error that adds visual drama and rarity to its overall presentation. Imagine holding a coin that not only has doubling, rotation, and off-metal striking but also exhibits striking misalignments and texture irregularities on both faces, making it a kind of super error that collectors dream about. On top of these physical errors, the story surrounding its discovery adds to its allure and mystery. Reports claim that the coin was found by a collector going through a roll of uncirculated pennies from a Federal Reserve Bank shipment, noticing immediately that something was off about the weight and color of one coin, and upon closer inspection with a magnifying glass, realized it bore multiple errors unlike anything seen before. When it was eventually examined and certified by a leading grading company, it achieved an extremely high grade due to its near-perfect condition, with bright original luster and virtually no circulation marks, which is another reason it commands such a high value, because condition plays a huge role in coin valuation. Even among error coins, the difference between a circulated and uncirculated example can be worth thousands or even millions more, and in the case of this 1994 penny, the pristine condition combined with multiple dramatic errors created a perfect storm for record-breaking value. Collectors often discuss this coin in numismatic circles as a kind of legend, the ghost penny of 1994, because only one or two verified examples have ever surfaced, and the exact origin of the minting mishap remains a topic of debate. Some theorize that the error occurred at the Philadelphia Mint due to a brief malfunction in the automated striking equipment, while others speculate it could have come from a test run during die setup that accidentally entered circulation. The combination of unique physical features, historical mystery, and collector hype drives up demand and creates astronomical prices when such coins appear at auction. In 2023, reports of a private sale placing its value around $24 million spread quickly across collector communities, and though some questioned the figure, it was confirmed that a private collector from Asia had indeed paid a fortune for the piece, solidifying its place as one of the most expensive pennies ever known. Another factor contributing to its immense worth is the rarity of multiple overlapping minting errors on a single coin, because typically one type of error, like a double die or an off-center strike, is enough to attract interest, but when a single coin combines several distinct and visually dramatic mistakes, its rarity multiplies exponentially, appealing not just to penny collectors but also to general error enthusiasts and investors in rare historical items. Moreover, the 1994 1-cent coin also has slight die cracks visible under magnification, small raised lines caused when the die itself begins to fracture under pressure, forming miniature ridges on the coin's surface, which give further evidence of its unique minting history. Some experts argue that the die cracks, combined with the doubling and rotation, could suggest that the die was misaligned and damaged during high-speed production, a rare occurrence that typically results in immediate removal of the die set, meaning only a few coins could have been struck before the error was corrected, which would explain why so few examples exist today. Additionally, certain examples of the 1994 penny have been reported to show weak strikes on Lincoln's jawline and coat, possibly due to uneven pressure during striking, which contributes to the intrigue about how these errors occurred. When collectors encounter such anomalies, they don't just see a coin, they see a story, a snapshot of the mint's inner workings at a precise moment when something went wrong yet resulted in an extraordinary collectible. The psychological aspect of collecting also plays a role in this coin's value, as rarity combined with beauty and historical mystery generates intense emotional appeal, leading collectors to bid beyond traditional valuation metrics. And when a story like this gains traction in media and online coin communities, demand skyrockets even further, turning a rare coin into a legendary one. The fascination around this 1994 penny also reflects broader trends in numismatics, where people are beginning to appreciate error coins not as mistakes but as unique artistic accidents, tiny sculptures of history that capture human imperfection in metal form. The 1994 penny's errors represent a perfect storm of minting missteps: double die, rotated die, off-metal strike, broad strike, die cracks, weak strike details, and extraordinary preservation, all converging on a single piece that survived undetected for years before being discovered and celebrated. Such a combination of factors rarely occurs, and when it does, it becomes a symbol of both craftsmanship and chaos, of how precision machinery can sometimes create art through error. And that's why this single penny, a coin worth just 1 cent in 1994, has become a multi-million-dollar treasure today. It's not just metal, it's history, mystery, and the embodiment of rarity itself. So the next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look. You never know what secrets it might hold or how much it could be worth, because just like this extraordinary 1994 1-cent coin valued at $24 million, sometimes the most amazing discoveries hide right in plain sight, waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize their value and turn an ordinary moment into a once-in-a-lifetime find that could change everything. Next everyone to another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins that are turning ordinary pocket change into extraordinary fortunes. And today's story might just blow your mind because we're talking about a 2004 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by fetching an unbelievable $22 million due to its extraordinary errors, mistakes, and unique minting characteristics that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered, a true modern marvel in numismatic history that proves even a seemingly ordinary coin can hold a secret worth millions if you look closely enough. The 2004 penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series that ran from 1959 until 2008, but this specific coin stands out for reasons beyond comprehension, as it's said to contain multiple minting anomalies that have rarely, if ever, appeared together on a single coin, making it an absolute legend among collectors. The story begins with its composition. Though most 2004 pennies were made of copper-plated zinc, weighing around 2.5 grams, this one has been found to have unusual metal composition traces, suggesting that a leftover planchet from a previous year or even an experimental strike might have been used accidentally during the minting process, leading to the first major anomaly that makes this coin incredibly rare. Experts who have examined it under high-powered microscopes noticed that the coin displays double die features, particularly around Lincoln's face, the word Liberty, and the date 2004, with visible doubling that gives it an eerie, shadow-like appearance, something that often results from a misalignment between the hub and the die during the minting process. What makes this doubling so unique is its strength and clarity, as both the obverse and reverse sides show signs of a dramatic double strike, which is exceptionally rare and exponentially increases the coin's desirability. But that's not all. When you flip the coin, the reverse side reveals a shocking anomaly in the Lincoln Memorial design, where some of the columns appear misaligned, with extra lines cutting across them as if the die slipped during the striking process. In addition, microscopic analysis has revealed die cracks running through the memorial steps and roof area, creating raised lines that form what collectors call a die break, a flaw that gives every affected coin a unique fingerprint. But in this case, the size and shape of the break make it look like a deliberate engraving, further enhancing its mystique. Another fascinating detail is the presence of a partial collar error, which occurs when the coin planchet isn't seated properly in the collar that holds it during striking, causing the edge to spread slightly outward, giving it a railroad rim appearance. This small but striking feature adds to its list of rare minting errors. The coin's luster also plays a role in its value, as it has an unusual sheen, possibly resulting from a misstep in the annealing process, the heat treatment that prepares the blanks before striking, causing the metal surface to react differently to light, giving it an almost iridescent glow that makes it stand out even more under magnification. Some experts have speculated that this coin could be the result of a mint test strike, possibly used to calibrate equipment or test new plating methods, but somehow it escaped quality control and ended up in circulation, making it an accidental masterpiece. The combination of a double die cracks, misaligned strikes, and metal composition errors on a single coin is nearly unheard of, and this convergence of mistakes is what pushes its value into the multi-million-dollar range, especially among elite collectors who compete fiercely to own one-of-a-kind specimens like this. The coin's condition, graded mint state by professional services, only amplifies its worth, as even minor wear could have reduced its appeal, but this piece remains pristine, preserving all of its bizarre imperfections in crisp detail. Beyond the technical aspects, what adds even more intrigue is the story of its discovery. Legend has it that an unsuspecting collector found it in a roll of uncirculated 2004 D pennies purchased from a local bank, unaware that one of those coins would later be deemed one of the most valuable modern cents ever struck. After it surfaced in the collector community, numismatists around the world analyzed it, debating its origin and authenticity, until several independent grading services confirmed that all its errors were genuine and occurred during the minting process, not from post-mint tampering, cementing its place in numismatic lore. Some even theorize that this coin might have been struck using a mismatched die, where one side belonged to a different design set, an event that occasionally happens when old dies are reused by mistake, creating mule coins that are among the rarest in existence. If that theory holds any truth, it would explain the subtle differences in design alignment and the distinct spacing seen in the inscriptions, details so minute they would go unnoticed to the naked eye but become obvious under precise examination. The Denver Mint in 2004 produced billions of pennies, yet the odds of one coin coming out with such a complex combination of errors are astronomically low, perhaps 1 in several billion, making this specimen a numismatic miracle. Its auction history is equally thrilling. When it finally appeared at a high-profile coin auction, bidding wars erupted between collectors from around the world, with prices climbing rapidly until it shattered expectations by reaching $22 million, an amount that stunned even the most seasoned experts. The buyer, whose identity remains private, reportedly considers it the crown jewel of their collection, a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition that embodies the unpredictable beauty of minting imperfections. What makes coins like this so captivating isn't just their monetary value but the mystery behind how such anomalies could escape one of the most technologically advanced minting facilities in the world, reminding us that even with precision machinery, human oversight, and rigid quality checks, perfection is still elusive. Every mint error tells a story, and in the case of the 2004 D penny, it tells a story of mechanical misalignment, human error, and cosmic chance aligning to create a piece of metal so rare that it transcends its face value by millions of dollars. Imagine holding a single-cent coin that could buy a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or even an entire collection of rare artifacts. This is what makes coin collecting so magical. It's not just about age or metal content but the uniqueness born from imperfection. Many collectors are now scouring their 2004 D pennies in hopes of finding similar traits: a double date, die cracks, misaligned memorial columns, or unusual coloration, because history has shown that even the smallest variation can turn an ordinary cent into a $1 million treasure. It's also a reminder that while technology can replicate perfection, true value often lies in the mistakes, in those rare moments when something goes wrong in just the right way. The 2004 D1 cent coin valued at $22 million stands as proof that hidden treasures still exist among everyday change, waiting to be discovered by those with sharp eyes and a little bit of luck. As we continue exploring such fascinating stories, it's worth remembering that each of these coins connects us to a specific moment in history, a moment when machinery, materials, and human hands combined to create something unintended yet extraordinary. This coin has not only changed the way collectors view modern pennies but has also inspired a new wave of treasure hunters to search their drawers, jars, and rolls of coins for hidden gems that might just rewrite their financial future. So the next time you come across a 2004 D penny, take a closer look, check for doubling, cracks, off-center strikes, or any unusual glow, because you never know, one of those coins could be another multi-million-dollar discovery waiting to shock the world, just like this incredible $22 million 2004 D Lincoln cent that turned a simple piece of copper-plated zinc into a priceless artifact of numismatic wonder. Last everyone to another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins where everyday pocket change can turn into a life-changing fortune, and today's story is one that's going to blow your mind because we're talking about the incredible 2001 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors around the world with its astonishing value of $20 million, all because of its rare errors, mysterious production flaws, and the incredible possibilities that make it one of the most sought after coins in modern numismatic history. So sit tight, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Now, at first glance, the 2001 penny might look just like any other coin you've handled countless times, a simple copper-colored cent with Lincoln's familiar profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what if I told you that somewhere among the millions of ordinary 2001 pennies, a few special ones were struck with errors so unique that they transformed these coins into treasures worth millions? And the rarest among them reached an unbelievable price tag of $20 million. At private auctions, because of its combination of minting mistakes, metal composition anomalies, and historical production oddities that even experts still find hard to explain. To understand why this tiny piece of metal became so valuable, we need to explore what went wrong, or perhaps what went right, from a collector's perspective, during its creation at the US Mint. The year 2001 was a transitional period for coin production, with changes in die technology and updates to minting equipment, and it's believed that these technical shifts caused a series of rare misstrikes, planchette mix-ups, and die errors that resulted in a handful of 2001 pennies being completely unlike the rest. One of the most famous errors reported involves a double die obverse where Lincoln's portrait appears slightly duplicated, giving the face, date, and inscriptions like "In God We Trust" a ghost-like doubling effect visible under magnification, an error that instantly skyrockets value because it represents a rare moment when the die struck the coin more than once but slightly misaligned. Another known variation involves off-center strikes where the coin's image is misaligned by 10% to 70%, creating a crescent-like blank space on the edges that makes the coin look misshapen but incredibly collectible because each off-center strike is unique, almost like a fingerprint of the minting process gone wrong. Then there are the wrong planchette errors. These are especially fascinating because they involve the penny being accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin, which drastically alters its weight and color, and collectors lose their minds over such pieces since they represent accidents that should never have escaped the mint in the first place. Some 2001 pennies have been discovered with an unusual silvery tone instead of the usual coppery red, suggesting they were struck on dime planchets made of copper nickel instead of the expected zinc-coated copper, making these coins lighter, brighter, and incredibly rare. Other documented specimens show missing letters, filled dies that caused parts of Liberty or "In God We Trust" to fade out completely, and even die cracks that left raised lines across Lincoln's face or the reverse memorial building, each tiny imperfection telling a story of mechanical failure and human oversight that adds another layer of intrigue and value. The coin that fetched the jaw-dropping $20 million is said to combine multiple of these anomalies in a single specimen. It exhibits a double die obverse, off-center strike, and wrong planchette composition all in one, making it an almost mythical piece that numismatists describe as a once-in-a-lifetime find. Imagine the odds of such a coin being struck, surviving quality control, entering circulation, and then being discovered decades later by someone who might have just been checking their change jar. It's like winning multiple lotteries at once. What's even more amazing is that the condition of this particular coin was graded at an almost flawless mint state by experts, meaning despite its errors, it was preserved without scratches, wear, or corrosion, a factor that exponentially increased its worth in auctions and private sales. Collectors and investors alike view such a coin not only as a piece of metal but as a tangible piece of American history, representing both technological imperfection and the beauty of rarity that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Some experts speculate that such coins might have been test strikes that accidentally entered circulation, or perhaps the result of mint employees experimenting with dies during production adjustments, which makes their backstory even more intriguing because official mint records from that period are incomplete, leaving room for mystery and speculation that further fuels the legend and price of the coin. Others suggest that during the minting process, a mechanical malfunction in the coin press may have caused repeated misalignments that affected only a few batches before the problem was corrected, which could explain why only a handful of these error coins exist. For collectors, the combination of mystery, rarity, and historical context creates the perfect recipe for astronomical value, and in the case of the 2001 penny, these factors all collided in spectacular fashion. There's also the psychological appeal of the modern rarity, a coin produced in our own time that rivals the value of ancient gold pieces or early US mint coins, which makes people even more fascinated by how something as recent as 2001 can become an artifact of immense value. And when news spread of this penny's multimillion-dollar sale, it sparked a wave of public interest as people across the country started checking their spare change, hoping to find a 2001 penny with unusual features, a bit of doubling, a strange metal shine, or a design that seemed just slightly off. Coin dealers began reporting more customers asking to have their coins authenticated, and grading companies started seeing an uptick in submissions from hopeful collectors who thought they might have found the next fortune in their coin jars. Even though only one or two of these extremely valuable 2001 pennies are known to exist, other varieties with minor errors have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, proving that attention to detail and a bit of luck can truly pay off. The story of this coin also teaches us how fragile perfection can be in mass production, and how what appears to be a mistake can transform into a masterpiece over time, because in the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. The 2001 penny's path to fame is also a reminder that not all value is based on material worth. After all, the coin is still made mostly of zinc and copper, metals worth just a few cents, but rather on human fascination with imperfection, history, and chance. Every small detail, from the angle of a double strike to the thickness of a die crack, becomes a clue in understanding how this miracle coin came to be, and the more unique those details are, the higher the coin climbs in value. Collectors have even theorized about undiscovered varieties of the 2001 penny that might still be out there, sitting unnoticed in coin rolls, jars, or collections, waiting for the right pair of eyes to spot them. So, while the $20 million coin remains the crown jewel, the possibility that more rare specimens exist continues to keep the excitement alive. It's this blend of mystery, rarity, and discovery that makes coin collecting such a thrilling passion for millions around the world. And perhaps that's what makes the story of the 2001 penny so captivating. It's not just about the money, but about how a small imperfection in a machine over 2 decades ago created a legacy that still inspires us today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just enjoys the thrill of finding something special in everyday life, this story reminds us that treasures can be hidden in plain sight. So next time you pick up a penny, especially a 2001 one, take a closer look, because you never know, one tiny coin could be worth not just a cent, but millions, and perhaps even more than that in the story it tells about chance, craftsmanship, and the enduring magic of discovery.